Good afternoon, teacher. My name is Napaporn Tongpun. Today I'm going to present my dream career in the future. My dream career or career that I want to do in the future. There may be many careers that can be learned in English. But my dream job to do in the future is interpreter. Everyone would like to know why I want to do this job. And if you ask why you want to do it, or if you like a career as an interpreter, because I like language and challenges. And when I go to see my mother at the workplace, I see an interpreter who translates Chinese into Thai language every time. I think it's challenging, fun, and really fun to do. So, it makes me want to do more in this career. Even if it's a difficult, I also want to improve myself in language to be better. That can make my dream career. But it is said that interpreter is another occupation that pays well. As you know, anyone can be a good interpreter. First of all, you have to get acquainted with this profession. Interpreter is a language-related profession. It serves to your language knowledge to translate from one language to another. During the conversation, and did you know that an interpreter is not the same as a translator? Misbelief in Thai social forever. Is interpreter equal to translate? A person who can be an interpreter doesn't always have to be as good at translating documents. A person who can translate documents is not an interpreter. The reason may be due to the different actual conversation method of the two occupations. While the translation translator needs to understand the level of meaning from the subject and then use their knowledge to convert the text back into destination language. That interpreter require memorization skill and a fair for quick comprehension, because whether it's a simultaneous interpreter, there is not much time to get the message from the translation. Therefore, it can be said that the two professions may have something in common, namely translation, but they are completely different, and interpreting is a career that makes good money. Each language has a different starting salary, and the interpreter I want to be is an interpreter in English and Chinese. Personally, Chinese is my favorite language, and for English, as the language that I have studied, it can build on my dream career. And the interpreter career is one of the difficult jobs that put a lot of pressure on me. Interpreter career requires communication skill, listening and speaking. Traveling a lot, usually. I'm a person who likes to travel anyway, it's good. Interpreter or translator, it can be divided into many branches such as translating ordinary document, government work, legal work, new translator for company, organization, hospital. The more excellent translator, the higher the income per job per time. There are also many opportunities to go abroad. Translation or interpreting work. The first feature is must have language proficiency. Even though I did study some field directly, I was able to work in many fields as well, such as being a journalist party, interpreter event with foreign artists. It can be said that this line of work covers the whole industry. Mention that income is quite high in those who have been in this field for a long time. But the primary income is primarily based on competence, experience, language score, certificate, and most importantly, the labor market demand at the time. There will be employment in the seven higher than any other language. This can be done on a regular basis. or independently, depending on the agreement with the employer. But really, there may be other additional costs such as travel expense. Consider before accept the job to see if it's worth the money, and don't forget to call it pros. 5 for negotiating with future employer. But the advantage of working as a freelancer is able to go to many fields, including drama, series, news, educational articles. Next, I will talk about nature of the work of the main interpreter that can be divided into three main buckets. 1. Company interpreter. Is it a job hired by the company to help as an interpreter when meeting a huge and go to meet customers? Most of them focus on special language such as Japanese, Korean, Spanish, Arabic. English is spoken by almost all the owner of the company. Number 2. Personal interpreter. An interpreter sent by an interpreter providing organization to businessmen who wish to travel to negotiate international business on a case-by-case basis and will get paid in job. And 3. An interpreter who is an expert in court. When Thai courts must consider for any case, there will be an interpreter who is certified and has passed the Ministry of Justice specialist interpreter and in translation test to act as a language translator as well. And the next topic I will talk about is if you want to be an interpreter, how do you act? 1. Always practice a specific language that is not English because, as said in this era, everyone can speak English. An interpreter who can speak another language adds an advantage. If you speak multiple languages, such as Italian, Spanish, French, in one person, both opportunity and wages are high. 2. Keep a secret. No matter what the customer talk about, must be completely forgotten from the band. Do not take it and tell other people, because sometimes small information, one price could turn the whole company situation around. And 3. Had a track, able to interpret from one language to another immediately and without mistake. The person who will be the translator has to keep up with the news all the time. What if Spanish boss talk about the protest? Italian boss discuss news of flooding in Bali. If the interpreter does not follow the news of the country at all, it may be mistranslated. And what I have present is my dream career. Being an English or other translator is not just about being proficient in the language and that's it. Because to be an interpreter, when you hear it, you have to translate it because the translation proficiency of the interpreter must be impeccable in terms of time and completeness, and the best way to become proficient can be nothing but big practice, and practice. Stay up to date with news on a regular basis. And most importantly, have to concentrate all the time as well and the profession. This is a career that I would like to do in the future. Even though it is very challenging for me, I will develop myself more to be as good at the career I want to do it not just an interpreter, but every profession. And if I can do it, I achieve another step and made the goal I set. For today, I have a good quote for you. Ireland said, climb the ladder of success by stepping up the ladder of opportunity. Thank you.